Hello, my beautiful peeps out there. How you guys doing on this beautiful, this beautiful Thursday? Today is September the 15th. I know some of you guys are at work right now, but it's all good. It's all good. You guys can always come back and watch my podcast. Y'all know what I do? I'm getting ready to tag a couple people. And like I stated before, I don't always tag the same people. So I'm just going to tag a couple people. Let me see. They always like switching up on me on this damn thing. Let me figure out. Hello, my beautiful Patty. How are you doing, beautiful? Hello, Marisha. How are you doing, Marisha? Let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to tag a couple people. You know, my little thing is always different. I'm just going to tag a couple, not many. I'm going to tag some new people. Let's see. Are you guys doing good today? Let's see. Okay, I'll just tag a couple people. All right. Hello, my beautiful niece, Jasmine. So today's podcast is going to be about relationships. I am going to give you guys a couple tips about relationships. I'm going to give you some good things about relationship. I'm also going to tell you a couple things that do mess up relationships. And also I'm going to give you a couple of about 5 quotes that I feel like, this will help you guys. Because a lot of times, we get into relationships and, sometimes we really don't know, especially when you first start off, getting into a relationship with someone. You really don't know, especially when you're young. Let me burn my sage to get everybody in a good mood. Bring those positive vibes your way. I don't own the right to this music in my background, but I am jamming to Mary J. Blige. You might listen to a little Anthony Hamilton. You might listen to a little Irene, Erica, Lauryn Hill, Boyz II Men. So just sit back and enjoy my podcast. I am burning my sage for everyone out there to bring in the good vibe. For the ones that's sitting there watching my podcast, I am bringing good vibes your way. So I am going to let my sage burn. Hopefully it will stay burning through the whole podcast. If not, I'll light it again. But yes, guys, I'm going to try to let you guys look at your relationship in a different, positive way. Because sometimes you have to, you got to bring out the positive in your relationship when you together. And if some of you guys out there are having little issues right now, with your relationship, hopefully the things that I talk about will help you guys out there to at least try to guide you in the right directions. This can be boyfriend and girlfriend and marriage, So I'm talking about, it can It falls in effect for both things, for boyfriend and girlfriend and marriage. So I'm going to get started. I got to put my glasses on. Let me see if I missed anybody. I didn't. So, let me get started. Okay, guys. Relationships teach us about ourselves. Sometimes for good or bad. The person standing in front of us can be a can be a mirror showing us who we really are. You know, relationships will bring out yourself. It will bring out the things that you didn't think that you had issues with when it comes to a relationship with a person. Friendship also give us a chance to watch ourselves in action. What is a positive relationship? It is a relationship that makes you both happy. And yes, guys, I am reading a couple things, and because I am just like breaking it down on different stages of, right now I'm talking about the stages of what you can do to bring on a positive, happy relationship. So I'm going to read a couple of things, and then I'm going to talk about the things that I'm reading that I feel like I need to make a point, so I can break it down to you guys. Building a positive relationship depends very much on having a foundation of love and respect for each other. Hello, my beautiful cousin Melissa. Thank you for watching. Respect for each other. Appreciate the little things. See your partner for what they are. A lot of times people don't want to really face the truth of their partner. Because when you're in a relationship with a person, it all depends on if you're in the beginning of a relationship with a person, you really don't know that person right. Unless y'all was already friends before y'all became, into a relationship as girlfriend and boyfriend or married. People have to realize, especially if you've been with that person for a good while, you should know that person. And you shouldn't be shocked of the things that you know about that person. A lot of times we try to portray like we really don't know them. Like if they do some fucked up shit, excuse my language, we act like, we don't know them, like this is a shock to us or whatever. But a lot of people do that. Everyone has different strengths and weakness. Instead of placing high expectation on the other person for your happiness, appreciate who they are and be surprised when they are on the same page as you instead of expecting it. Accept who they are. Accept it. Stop making excuses. What's the secret of a happy relationship? One of the secrets to a healthy and happy relationship is forgiveness. If you have not forgiven, if you have not forgotten, you are yet to forgive. This right here is my biggest thing. You have to learn how to forgive the things that... No, let me put it like this. If you and your partner, say for instance, if your partner cheats on you, if you and your partner are sitting there discussing how each other is feeling about that person cheating on that person, if y'all sat there and discussed everything, y'all went through everything, y'all dealt everything, and now y'all good, whatever you do, don't, if you ever get into an argument or whatever, don't go back to that part of that person cheated on you, because the simple fact is that you never got over it. You know, you got to start looking at things positive. If you're going to deal with a person that cheats on you more than one time, you and that person sat there, talked about it, y'all, you know, understand, whatever, you know, whatever. Then a year passed, 2 years passed, everything is good. Then here go a time that you and your partner are having like disagreements. And you go back to 2 years ago when your partner cheated on you and bring that back up after 2 years pass. That's a no-no. Because the simple fact is that if you're not over it, you need to deal with it. Because you can't move forward if you keep bringing that back up. You can't. You can't move forward. Simple as that. You can't move forward. So if you have an issue that you're dealing with when it comes to something like that, that you can't forgive, you have to work on it, and you have to ask yourself, is this relationship is really worth fighting for? You have to ask yourself that. Because if you keep bringing it up and keep bringing it up, all you're doing is making yourself miserable. All you're doing is making yourself unhappy. So you have to find positive ways, especially if you feel like that partner is worth you fighting for. You have to try to bring in positive ways to forgive. Now, you're never going to forget, but you have to find ways to forgive if you want your relationship to move forward. In a relationship, forgiveness means forgetting as well. Learn to forgive each other quickly and avoid keeping track of your partner's wrongdoing. Avoid capitalizing on their flaws and mistakes. I feel like that's one big thing that I feel, my opinion and my opinion only. Everything that I'm talking about, this is my opinion. Everybody's going to feel the way they feel when it comes to a relationship. But I am trying to give you guys out there a different positive mindset when it comes to dealing with a relationship. Repeat, this is my opinion only, okay? So I don't need no backslash and all of that. This is my opinion. So learn how to accept people's opinion. Now, that is a no-no. Do not try to make your partner feel wrong of what your partner did, especially only if you and your partner had came to an agreement together of what y'all problem was and y'all solved that problem. That's what I mean. Don't go back to the wrong things of your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your wife did. Don't do that. You know, a lot of times, you know, when you get in an argument with a person and you go back and you talk those wrong things, or you try to say things that's hurtful, or, you know, hurt they feel, you can't do that. That's wrong. Your partner is not your enemy. You know, you got to understand, if you want respect, you got to give respect. But if you're in an argument with your partner, don't try to attack your partner with awful things. Don't do that. Because you got to remember, that partner, you're supposed to love that partner. By loving that partner, why is you going to go and say awful things to that partner if you're supposed to love that partner? You know, you can have an argument and you don't have to downrate your partner or just like hurt your partner's feeling. You don't have to do that to have an argument. And I'm going to talk about that too. Okay, my peeps, I'm going to give you 5 things to help you have a positive relationship. 1, show appreciation. That's the main thing. When a relationship lasts for a while, we can start to take our partner for granted. Even if we don't mean to. If you one of those guys that don't appreciate your relationship, you need to start saying thank you. And that's true. We get caught up sometimes, when, especially if you in a relationship for a long period of time. We do. We take our partner for granted. You know, I take my husband for granted. You know, but we have to start learning how to appreciate our partners more. Don't appreciate your partner when your partner buy you something, then you want to be appreciated. Don't do that. Always appreciate your partner. Always. You know, you got to start thinking in a positive mindset. You know, you got to release all of the things that you're holding inside when it comes to you and your partner. And I'm going to talk about that too. I'm going to talk about that too. Okay, so let me read a couple questions and I'm going to continue. Hello, Dwayne. How are you doing? Thank you for watching. Let's see. Hello, my beautiful Rancia. Thank you for watching. Hello, Tamika. Thank you for watching. When you keep bringing up your partner's past, will just keep that relationship. Exactly. Okay. 2, learn to forgive. It's important to trust them and forgive them. Discuss together how to move forward. From that point, happy couples practice forgiveness rather than holding grudge. You have to practice. It's not going to work overnight. You have to practice on forgiving someone. I had a friend that was going through something with her partner. And I told her that you have to learn how to forgive. And I feel like when you learn how to forgive, you also have to learn how to fall back in love with each other. Because if you have to forgive your partner for something, you lost the trust. So, you have to gain that trust back. You have to fall back in love with your partner. And another thing, you know, sometimes when you're in a relationship for a long period of time, you do fall out of love. You do. You love that partner. You love that person, but you're not in love with that person again. So you have to find ways to bring that love back into your relationship. Because a lot of times we get caught up with different things that's going on in our lives. You know, you might have kids. You know, your partner might work long hours. You get home, you're tired. You know, and you lose. You lose that love. Like, you love them, but you don't have that falling in love feeling anymore. So you have to bring that back into your relationship. You have to fall in love with your partner again. You have to fall in love, just like how when you first got with your partner, how beautiful it was. You know, you have to do that again. Check in. Sometimes things happen during our day that we completely be in a mood. I feel that it's good to call your partner during the day just to check on them. Because just like you're going through a rough moment or you're going through something and your partner call you, your partner might be going through the same thing too. So it's nothing wrong with you to call or text, your partner during the day. Because that shows your partner how much you really do love them. Because that's beautiful. Like sometimes I'll text my husband, and say, hey, I miss you, I love you. It's beautiful to do things like that. So you have to start off by doing positive things in your relationship to make your relationship stronger. To build that love back, to build that excitement back between each other. You have to bring the excitement back. Because we do lose the excitement, especially when you've been together for so long, because so much going on, you forget about those things. So, yes, send your partner a text, or a call and just say, hey, I was just thinking about you, I love you. Do that. Learn how to argue. There is a right way and a wrong way to argue with your partner. Arguments happen, but your partner isn't your enemy. Learn how to argue looking for a positive solution to the end of disagreement. The ones that have been around me and my husband when we had a argument. Me and my husband argue funny. We don't argue with each other with cruel, mean words or putting each other down. We don't argue like that. I know it might be shocking to some of you guys out there, because some of you guys probably, when you argue, you cursing them out, you calling them every name in the book, and this and that. Me and my husband don't do that. When we have an argument, we are listening to each other. When we get to a point that we feel like that we feel heated, we stop. He'll walk away or I'll walk away. You have to practice on that, because you got to remember, if you're going to attack your partner with all kind of words and MFs and FU and this and that, is that the person you want to be with? Because you're attacking your partner like you and your partner are enemies. So you got to learn how to talk to each other in a positive way. You can still get your point across. You have to practice on that. And another thing, say I love you. Every hour, before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, when you hang up the phone, and that's my big thing. I always tell my husband I love him, because you never know. That might be the last words that I tell, my husband. So make sure you tell your partner that you love them. Make sure you tell them that before you hang up the phone. Because I feel like that will bring a stronger connection between you two. How important is happiness relationship? 1, communicate. 2, don't forget the small things. 3, go on vacation. 4, spend time together. 5, laugh. You got to have some fun in your relationship. Your relationship shouldn't be always serious. And I know they got a lot of relationships out there that some people don't really laugh in their relationship because they might have a partner that's always serious. You know, you got to bring some laughter in your relationship. You have to. You know, if you're one of those people that's serious all the time and you very seldom laugh or whatever because you just, that's just you. You have to bring some laughter in your relationship because that laughter in your relationship is going to bring y'all guys closer and it's going to make you feel comfortable too. You know, so you got to bring some laugh, in your relationship. You got to do that. Go with the flow. You know that relationships are going to have their ups and downs. Not every relationship is going to be exactly the same. And you are going to experience different hardships in each one. Together, understand the importance of going with the change of flow of any relationship. Remember, you cannot move forward if you keep standing still. That right there, if you and your partner are going through something, but you're the only person that's trying to make a difference and try to change, but your partner is not trying to change or make the difference, it's no way, and I repeat, no way that y'all both gonna move forward. You're not. If your partner is not willing to change things, but you're willing to change things, how can both of y'all move forward when you're here and he's here? You can't move forward. You have to have a partner that's willing to change the things that you don't like about that person and that person don't like about, your things. You have to work on those things. You have to change those things. If you're one of those people that like to argue all the time, and your partner don't like all of that, you have to try to change. You got to remember, you got to bring in positive things into your relationship to make your relationship, move forward. But if you're in a relationship with a person and you and this person is dealing with the same old, after the year passed, another year passed, another year passed, and y'all still dealing with the same thing, and your partner is not willing to change things in your relationship, it's time for you to make a decision and ask yourself, is it worth me staying in this relationship? And if you decide to stay in that type of relationship, and I might sound real cruel, but the truth is the truth, stop complaining. If you're going to continue to deal with bullshit, stop complaining about the relationship. If your partner is not trying to go forward, it's only you to make that decision if you want to continue dealing with the bullshit or you just want to walk away. You have to make that decision. And when the decision that you make, stop complaining about it. You already know it's been 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever, how long it's been, that your partner is not changing. You know, so a lot of times, you know, we got to stop complaining about things when we are, we have to stop complaining about things if we chose to deal with that type of bull crap. Stop complaining. You know, you have a choice. You have a choice. Teach one another. Don't be afraid to admit your shortcomings. And don't be afraid to allow your partner to show you the way. Remember, relationship is about growth. And sometimes we have to grow together. You know, you have to learn, like me with my husband. Baby, when it comes to bills, he's going to pay those bills. But when it comes to me, I might be like, okay, I'll just put that one off for her and I'll just go back and pay that or whatever. But I had to learn from what my husband was doing. I had to teach myself. You know, it's things that you can learn from your partner. But you got to be willing to learn that. You know, you can't be hot-headed. Sometimes you just have to just be quiet and just shut up and learn. You know, the only way you're going to grow from things, you have to learn. Because for one thing about it, both of you got weakness when it comes to a relationship. Neither one of you are perfect. So it's going to be something that you're going to learn from your partner. And your partner going to learn something from you. That's all about bringing in positive mindset. You have to learn from each other. The only way you're going to grow, you have to learn from each other. You have to. You can't be against each other. You can't keep looking at your relationship as an enemy, as the person is. You hate that person. You can't do that. You know, because if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't be in a relationship with your enemy. That's crazy. Take it out. Doesn't come from sweeping your problems under the rug and hoping that they go away. Learn how to talk through issues. Bring up disagreement. Talk about them and come to an agreement. You have to learn how to sit down with your partner and talk about things. You know, y'all have to learn how to respect each other's opinion. But you have to come to agreement that you both is okay with that agreement. You know, you got to learn how to sit down and handle things as a couple. You know, because sometimes you can make the wrong decision because you wasn't willing to sit there and talk about, you know, this disagreement that y'all have, and here you go reacting and not realizing that you didn't give your partner a chance, you know, to listen to what your partner is telling you for y'all both to come to an agreement together. Because one thing about it, when y'all come to agreement together, it's nobody's fault but y'all's, because y'all came to agreement together. But if you don't do that, you can blame, well, you did it. Well, you did it. Well, you did it. You know, you have to come to agreement together. You have to sit down and talk to each other. And another thing, too, you got to stay intimate. I know sometimes, you know, we get tired. We don't want to do it. But you got to understand, you got to please your partner. You got to please your partner. You got to. You know, you got to please your partner. Now, if you with a partner that, you know, a lot of times, you know, women know, men know, but they just don't want to talk about it. If you with a partner that's have a sex addiction, woo, it's going to be hard. Whatever you do, you're going to satisfy that person, but that person, when they have that addiction, that person going to have to get help. Y'all going to have to talk about it. You know, because I'm pretty sure they got a lot of people out there that do have a sex addiction that, you know, but you still have to keep it. You know, the ones that's not, you know, into being intimate all the time, you got to bring some of that intimate. You could be intimate in different ways. You don't have to always be intimate, you know, sexual wise. But that's the key. Because you got to understand that just because you're the type that you don't like to do that all the time, and you're with a partner that likes to do that all the time, you got to remember, you got to work things out, because you already knew that before you got into that relationship, that partner loves to have, you know, X. So you got to remember that. You know, sometimes people don't understand that, you know, you forget, you know, especially, I feel like, especially when you get married. I feel like a lot of married couples got to understand that if you're with someone that before you got married, they love to have the L. I'm going to put it like that. Because Facebook might cut me off because I say the, you know, the S word. And then you know, you might not be like that. So you got to understand, when you get married, things don't change, because that person is being their self. So you have to make sacrifice, especially when you're married. Marriage is a big sacrifice. You have to sacrifice a lot of stuff when you're married. You know, marriage will teach you on a lot of things, because the simple fact that you and this person make vows to each other, and y'all got to work things out, you know. So, you know, you got to, if you're having issues in your relationship when it comes to the S word, you got to come to an agreement and work things out. You got to come to agreement and work things out, because it's not fair to that partner that they're not, you know, getting pleased. You know, that's not fair, you know. So you have to come to agreement together on y'all agreement. You know, I don't care if y'all decide to do it once a week or whatever. You just have to come to an agreement. You know, and then you can also do other things too to keep the excitement. You know, you can put on something sexy, and your other partner could put on something sexy. You know, you can do things to keep it exciting in your relationship. You know. So now I am going to get to the part of, let me see, things that I feel like it might, you know, come between, you know, that your relationship is having issues, and I'm going to, you know, tell you some things that, you know, will help fix, you know, some of the problems in your relationship to make your relationship stronger. Don't argue over money. A lot of relationships do argue about money. A lot. Try to understand how each other sees your financial life, where the difference are, then address them. If you and your partner is having financial issues, you have to sit down and y'all have to talk about those issues. You know, because you can find yourself in a relationship And one person is stronger when it comes to financial, your finance, and another person is not as strong. You have to allow the person that is strong to really take control of your finance. Because sometimes if you allow yourself, knowing that you're not on the strong point of that, when it comes to you dealing with money, you need to let your strong partner that do know how to handle money take control. You do have to do that. Because if you don't make that decision and bring in positive energy and bring in positive, mindset and say, hey, I tried it, but I'm not good at it. It's time for you to take control because you're good at it. Because having an argument about money can separate, destroy a relationship. It can. 2, share your thoughts, your hopes, your fears, your passion. Let your partner know who you truly are. Set aside time each day to talk about important things to each of you guys. That's one thing that relationships have to learn how to do. You have to share your thoughts. You cannot assume that your partner knows your thoughts. You got to stop that. And I had to learn that in the early stage of when I first got into a truly relationship. I had to understand that person didn't understand, didn't know my thoughts because I never expressed myself, and I never was like myself, because sometimes you get afraid, especially if you dealing with a partner that is like so sedity, like they don't make any little mistakes, or they feel like they're so, you know they got those types out there that's like, oh my God, no, you didn't just do that, or, So sometimes people get caught up and people don't be their true self with their partner because they have to portray a way that their partner would accept them. So they hold back their thoughts of how they're feeling inside, but you got to stop. You have to stop that. You have to express to your partner your fears. You have to express to your partner what your hopes are, what your passion is. You have to do those things, so your partner can understand you and you can understand your partner. We have to start talking more about the things that we love to do, about the things that we don't like. Stop assuming that your partner knows your thoughts. Stop. Your partner do not know your thoughts. You can look dead at your partner and your partner do not know your thoughts. So stop assuming that your partner knows your thoughts. Stop it. Be true to yourself. If this is a person that you feel that, say for instance, if you're married, that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, you have to get all that you have to get it out. You have to be true to yourself. You got to stop faking. If your partner loves you enough, your partner is going to accept the truth of you. Negativity. Control behavior. Flirting with someone else just to make your mate jealous. People have to stop doing that. A lot of relationships, people do tat for tat. They do. They do tat for tat. One thing about doing tat for tat, all you're doing is setting yourself up to be hurt. Because for one thing, if you're trying to make your spouse or your partner jealous by flirting with someone while they're standing there, you got to remember to yourself, what happens if your partner did that to you? How will you feel? You will be angry. You will feel that that person disrespects you in every way. So don't do tat for tat. Don't do that, because all that's doing is bringing in negative energy into your relationship. You got to remember, you want to bring in positive energy into your relationship. So don't be, don't play tap to tap. If you're one of these people, one of the persons out there that likes to do tap for tap, please stop. Try to stop at least. Because then you wonder why your relationship, you wonder why your partner do things in front of you, because you started it off, or they started it off. But don't do tat for tat in a relationship, because you got to remember, that's not your enemy. That's a person that you're supposed to love. What are steps to build a healthy relationship? 1. Respect change. 2. Accept differences. 3. Express wants and needs. 4. Respect your partner's rights. 5. Be prepared to fight fair. I'm going to give you guys 5 things to break from. You know how sometimes in a relationship, we do get lost in a relationship. We start like falling back and losing ourselves in a relationship. Because I know I have. I know that, once upon a time in my relationship, I fell back. And some things that I was afraid to speak on because I was trying to avoid those things. So I'm going to read a couple things that some of you guys out there feel what I'm talking about. 1, expecting your feelings to override of your partner to stop pursuing their interests simply because you're not sure of your interests in life. 2, getting angry at your partner for finding other attractive doesn't die off when committed to someone. And that's another thing too. Women, I'm going to say partners, and this goes for women and men. If you in a relationship with a person that is very attractive, don't get upset if a woman or a man is looking at your partner. Because you have to understand, when you're an attractive person, people are going to look at you. Like my husband. I know what attracts my husband. My husband loves women that have ass. Simple as that. So I know that if a woman passed my husband that has a big butt, he's going to look. I'm going to look with him. But I know that's what my husband is, he's attracted to, so he's going to look. I'm not going to get upset with him because he looked. He's not going to disrespect me. But I mean, that's natural. We are going to look. And I find that a lot of relationships, people get so upset if if their partner is attracted to certain things, you can't get upset, because you got to realize we all human. We all like different things. So why should I get upset because my husband, if a woman passed by that got a big ass, my husband, look at it. Should I tell his ass? I know you can really look at her ass because you like ass. You know, you got to bring in positive energy in your relationship. You got to face the truth of the things that your partner likes or your partner is attracted to. You know, just because he attracted to women that has big butt, that doesn't mean that he's going to disrespect me while I'm standing there. He's not going to do that. So stop being angry. You know, don't do that. Convincing yourself that the relationship is doomed no matter what, and that the two of you won't find happiness. Stop. Just because you and your partner get into it, or y'all having a hard time right now, because in a relationship you're going to have those ups and you're going to have those downs. You are. But don't doom your relationship just because you're going through a moment right now. Don't do that. You know, especially if you want that relationship. Don't doom your relationship, because all you're doing is bringing on negative energy to your relationship. 4, believing that the road to happiness does not require a lot of. 5, expecting your partner to know why you want or how you feel without telling him or her. People want their partner to mind read, and they expect that they should know. Stop thinking that way, because they don't know. They don't know. Now I'm going to tell you guys what things that I feel that ruins a relationship. 1, one of you tries to control or change the other. It's okay to express your feelings and ask them to consider making changes, but it's not okay to tell them what to do or attempt to control them. If they do something that really bothers you, you cannot accept it. The relationship may not have long-term potential. You cannot be in a controlling relationship. You cannot. I feel like, you know, when you're in a relationship, nobody should be controlling of each other. Nobody. You know, you find that a lot of times women or men don't realize that they are in a controlling relationship, because they're looking at, some people think that in a controlling relationship is a person is being abusive to you and telling you no, no. You could be in a controlling relationship and you and your partner don't even have any abuse in it, but your partner is controlling you. And that is not healthy, being in a controlling relationship. It's not. Your partner does not respect your boundaries. Boundaries comes into play across your relationship, from respectful communication to private needs. If you set a boundary and they push against it or pressure you to change, that is a serious red flag. You have to stand your boundaries. You have to. Just like your partner has to stand their boundaries. You know, we all have it. We have to stand by it. You know, if you're a person that you're not going to take shit off nobody, stand that. Stand your ground. You know, you have to respect each other's boundaries. You have to. Simple as that. You just have to respect. Relationships often develop when people enjoy each other's company and want to spend even more time together. But some people might feel distance with each other. You might even try to find excuses to avoid spending time together. If you at a point in your relationship that you're noticing that you and your partner is not spending time with each other, it's time for you and your partner to sit down and come to agreement to decide what y'all want in this relationship. Because if you get to a point that you and your partner is not spending time with each other, y'all are falling out of love real deep. So you have to make a decision to see if your relationship is worth fighting for. You have to sit down and come to agreement and let each other know that, hey, I find that we do not spend time with each other. You gotta spend time with your partner. You got to spend some time with your partner. You don't have to always go places to spend time with your partner. You can sit in your house and spend some time with your partner, but you gotta spend some time with each other. The relationship feels unequal. One of you might temporarily lose income. You struggle, with the bills and also the illness. 5, say negative or hurtful things about each other. It's not healthy to criticize each other or say hurtful things. It's not. That's not healthy at all. Like I keep telling you guys, if you're going to be in a relationship with each other, don't treat your relationship like that's your enemy. You can't say hurtful things to each other. You can't do that. You can't do that. You don't feel heard. When you bring up a problem or share something that's been on your mind, or you might have hard time sharing your opinion or talking about serious issues because you worry that they just brush you off. And a lot of women and a lot of men go through this. They are afraid to express certain things. They're afraid to bring up things because their partner is brushing them off. So that is keeping them silent. And only time they get ready to express how they feel about the situation if y'all in a heated argument. Don't be afraid to express what's going on inside of you. Don't be afraid to do that. I'm going to go and read some questions. I know today I am going to be on here a little longer. Let's see. Okay, let me shout out. Hello, Yolanda. How you doing, beautiful? Hello, Michael. How you doing, beautiful? Hello, Marcellus, my cousin. How you doing? Marcellus says, since them rules up front in the beginning. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Marisha said, these rules are good for friendship too. Great topic. So, okay, and 7, you are afraid to express disagreement. If you find yourself censoring everything you say because you worry about their reaction or feel like you're walking on eggshells every day. They have a lot of relationships out there that people walk on eggshells in their relationship. They do. For the ones out there that walks on eggshells in your relationship, it's time for you to sit down and give yourself a reality check. Give yourself a reality check. Because if you let your relationship go that far that you feel like you have to walk on eggshells, it is time for you to leave that relationship. Nobody should have to walk on eggshells when you in a relationship with a person. Nobody. Just like they can express themselves, you should be able to express yourself too. Do not, and I repeat, do not be in a relationship if you're living your life on eggshells. You're gonna have to try your hardest to try to fix that, speak up for yourself. If you're afraid to speak up to yourself, you're gonna have to find other ways to try to get out of that relationship, because that is not good to be in a relationship and you walking on eggshells. No, 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 no. 8, you don't feel happy or comfortable around your partner. If you feel unease or unhappy all the time, the relationship may not be meeting your needs. People change over time. So, feeling dissatisfied and trapped doesn't necessarily mean either of you have done anything wrong. You both have outgrown each other and you're just not feeling it. You know, a lot of times people in a long relationship, sometimes you grow out of that. You grow out of each other. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's not the fact that you don't love that person, but sometimes you outgrow that person. You know, you got to understand, if you continue being in a relationship with a person and that person is not trying to grow and you outgrown them, you got to move on. Nobody should be in a relationship and you feel unhappy. You can't. You know, it's okay if you outgrow them. It's okay. You know, people grow. Nine, disagreement or discussion don't go anywhere. Not a good sign when you find yourself talking in circles or about the same issues all the time, and it's no improvement. Just like I stated before, you cannot be in a relationship with a person if that person is not willing to change. Why continue over years discussing the same issues? Why? You know, you shouldn't have to discuss the same issues. I feel like you have to sit down and you have to sit there and talk about the issues that you have in your relationship. You have to put it on the table. You know, when me and my husband first got together, you know, we learning about each other, you know, and we learning, you know, the things that he didn't like, the things that I didn't like, you know, and we came across an issue that I didn't like, and he came across the issue that he didn't like. We had to sit down and talk about those issues. You know, because if you don't sit there and talk about your issues, all you're doing is making your relationship more and more negative. You know, you're just bringing on more and more negative energy in your relationship because you're not willing to sit down and discuss your issues. Every relationship has issues. You know, just because you know, and I'm going to talk about marriage because I'm married. Just because you're married, that doesn't mean that your issues, you know, if you had issues before you got married, and a lot of people need to understand this. For the ones out there that's new, that's thinking about getting married, listen. If you have issues before you get married in your relationship as girlfriend and boyfriend, if you bring those issues onto your marriage, What makes you think that just because you're married, those issues going to go away because you're married? A lot of times people get caught up. Just because you're married, they feel like, your issues that you was dealing with, they're going to change. That person's going to change. It's, no. Them issues going to come into your marriage. You're going to be still dealing with the same issues as when you was girlfriend and boyfriend. You have to learn how to sit down and discuss those issues. You have to. And then another thing too, I might offend people out there, but this is my opinion only. If you're dealing with a different type of relationship, say for instance, if you're dealing with a person that is a very outgoing person that likes to go and all of that, and you marry this person, but you're this person that you don't like to do, you don't like to go places. You're more as a homebody person. Y'all two gonna have to sit down and talk about that, because for one thing, the person that's not used to going and always home, and this person is an outgoing person, like to go places, that's gonna be an issue between y'all. You have to sit down and discuss those things, because for one thing, people have to realize you knew this before you even got married. That's just like if you're dealing with a person that cheats all the time. What makes you think just because you marry that person's going to stop cheating? No. If you was having issue with this person while they was cheating, and you got married to this person, y'all got issues. Y'all got to sit down and talk about those issues. You got to sit down and talk about those issues. People forget that you had issues before you brought in those issues when you got married. So that means that you and your partner have to sit down and talk about those issues and discuss those issues and come to agreement on those issues. You have to. And then when you come to agreement on them issues, do not bring those issues back up in your relationship. Don't do that. Because if you keep bringing on those issues in your relationship, all you doing is bringing both of you apart. Y'all bringing each other apart. Because one partner going to say, well, dang, I thought we discussed that. I thought we talked about it. I thought it was squash. And you bring it back. You can't. You have to sit there as an adult and discuss your issues, because when you're in a relationship with a person, you and that person are going to have issues in your relationship, because there's going to be something in your relationship that you don't like about each other. Simple as that. So, for you to have a better relationship, you have to sit down and talk about your issues. I don't care what the issue is. If one of y'all have a drinking problem, that's an issue. If one don't want to be intimate, that's the issue. You have to sit down and talk about your issues. What are your issues that you're dealing with that's just holding your relationship to grow? You have to talk about it. And you got to remember, if that person is not willing to change those issues, you got to say to yourself, if this relationship is worth fighting for. And if you're going to fight for that relationship, stop complaining. Stop complaining. I feel like that is the biggest thing that a lot of people mess up in a relationship. If you're going to deal with an issue and you accept that issue, stop complaining about that issue. Stop complaining about it. You have to stop. Because a lot of times in a relationship, we accept things that we're not okay about it, but we're not going to let that destroy our relationship. I'm not going to keep bringing that up. I already expressed to that person how I feel about that issue. But that person is trying to do things different. I'm not going to keep bringing that up, Because all I'm doing is pushing that person back, 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 back. And the first thing they said, well, damn, I'm trying to change the issue that you have with me, but you keep bringing that back up to me. How can I move forward if you keep bringing me back? Remember that. Remember that. Because you want to be around your partner happy. You want to have your partner, you want to have that good feeling to love to be around your partner. That's just like when me and my husband. I love being around my husband. I love being around because our energy is so good, because once you work out those issues towards each other, your relationship can be beautiful. It can be beautiful. And once you get to a point in your relationship that is beautiful, you love being around your partner. You love being around your partner. What are the most common relationship challenge? 1, insecurity. They have so many people that's in a relationship that's so insecure. My thing is, if you feeling insecure in your relationship, it's something that you need to work on yourself. It's something in yourself that you're feeling insecure about. So you have to work on yourself if you have insecurity when it comes to a relationship. Conflicts. You have to learn how to handle conflicts in a positive way. And always remember, in your relationship, your partner is not your enemy. Remember that. Because once you start keeping that in your mind, that your partner is not your enemy, you're going to start trying to handle different conflicts in a positive way. Jealousy. They do have a lot of people in a relationship. Jealousy plays a big part in their relationship. If you and your partner both have jealousy in your relationship, you have to sit down and you have to talk about those things. Because both of y'all are feeling some type of way inside that's bringing out that jealousy in your relationship. Verbal abuse. I have experienced that in a relationship that I was in. And Lord, I feel like verbal abuse, it messes your mind up, because you start feeling less of yourself. You start losing the confidence in yourself. And all along, you're in a relationship with a person that he or she looks at you as the enemy. If you're getting verbal abuse from your partner is looking at you as the enemy. Because your partner is trying to break you down to let you feel less of yourself. Control issues. You cannot be in a relationship that you and your partner is, y'all have control issues. You can't. That's not going to be a healthy relationship. You can't have control issues in a relationship. You can't. Trust issues. Trust issues do play a big part in a person's relationship, and I feel like trust issues come from when a person cheats on a person. It takes a lot to gain trust back. You have to work on it. And my favorite thing is about that, like I always say, if you feel like that partner is worth fighting for, you have to take baby steps to trust that person again. Because when you lose trust from a person, that takes a lot. That takes a lot for you to really, really, because sometimes, trust issues can end a relationship. It all depends on how you are at that moment, the state of your mind, because if you're at that moment that you're really true to yourself, trust issues, you know, if you lose trust in a person, you know, that's it. You know, you just don't want that person anymore. You know, trust issues can, you know, break up a relationship. It can. Because, you know, trust issue, that's a big thing to deal with, you know, especially a person that you truly love and you lose the trust from them. You know, you have to take baby steps. And for the ones out there that if you did something to your partner, you know, and I'm gonna say cheating to your partner, trust issue, is going to take a minute for your partner to try to trust you. You know, but y'all have to work things out. Y'all have to talk about things, you know, and don't get frustrated if that person just don't like give in to you. You know, because it's going to take a lot for a person, especially when you love a person deeply. It's going to take a lot to build that trust back up. Long distance. I feel like sometimes long distance relationship is very, very hard. You know, toxic relationship. Toxic relationship, I feel like you shouldn't be in a relationship if you're feeling toxic. You know, I feel like when you're toxic in a relationship, you're looking at each other as being the enemy. Cheating. Cheating is a big no-no. But sometimes people cheat for different reasons. And I'm not saying that cheating is good, because it's not. Because you do get hurt by, you know, being cheated on. I have been cheated on. But sometimes people that cheat, you know, they have issues that they're dealing with inside of their self. And I feel like when a person gets cheated on, the first thing a person do is blame their self, thinking that they will, you know, what did I do wrong? You know, I did this, I did that, I was good, I cooked, I cleaned, you know, I fulfilled him and all of that. Don't beat yourself up because that person cheated. You know, that person cheated for reasons that that person is dealing with, you know, and it's not your fault, you know. And I feel like if you're a person that accept someone cheating on you, it's okay to accept that, but you have to understand that you two gonna have to really sit down and talk about, you know, whatever, you know, they cheated on you. Because, you know, a lot of times we get caught up thinking that we wasn't good enough for that person. But it's not the fact that we wasn't good enough for that person. It's just the fact that that person got issues that that person is dealing with. You know, a lot of times, you know, people that cheat, they, you know, their relationship don't have any excitement anymore in their relationship. Or, you know, they partner, you know, can't be true to their partner to let them know what they're dealing with, what they're losing out of the relationship. So, you know, one thing that I have learned when I got cheated on, and the person that cheated on me, this is what they told me. And it, you know, and that made me really, really look at things different. When I got cheated on the first time, you know how when you get cheated on the first time, you know, you go through that, you ride it up, and, you know, you go through all that. And then, you know, you take them back. Then they cheat on you again. You take them back. So when I got to a point to, like, understand why that person kept cheating on me, you know, I had to ask that person, you know, why did you keep cheating? You know, why did you keep cheating on me? And that person told me that the reason why I kept doing it is because the first time when I cheated on you, I thought that you was going to actually, like, believe me. But then when you accept, you know, it's not that you accept it, but it's like you went back to, when you came back to me, And then when I cheated again, you still didn't go nowhere. When I cheated again, you still didn't go nowhere. So I got comfortable enough to say to myself, okay, if I did something wrong to her, oh, she's going to chew me out. She's going to scream at me. And boom, we good. We're going to go right back to it. But then when he realized that when you cheated on me the last time, enough was enough. So you have to say to yourself, when a person cheats on you, you have to sit down. You have to talk about those things. You just got to have faith, and you have to build up that trust, to accept, the reason. You got to ask a person, and I feel like when, if you cheat on that person, if that person asks you why, I feel like you should tell that person the truth, because for one thing, you have to be true to each other, because being in a relationship, each one of us is different. We're not the same. You're going to be different. It's going to be things that you're missing in a relationship. And you got to let your partner know what you're missing in that relationship. Simple as that. You got to let them know. You got to let them know. My final thoughts before I go into the quotes. I think for any relationship to be successful, there needs to be loving communication, appreciation, and understanding. You have to have these things to have a positive, healthy relationship. You have to have communication. You have to show love. You have to appreciate your partner. And you got to have an understanding. You got to realize that we're human. We make mistakes. You're learning each other. You're trying to move forward. You're trying to grow. You have to work those issues out that you're dealing with. Because one thing about it, once you work those issues out, the next step you have to do, you have to fall back in love with each other again. And it's a beautiful thing to fall back in love with your partner. It's beautiful. Because then you and your partner has that understanding that, y'all went through y'all issues. Y'all dealt with y'all issues. Now it's time for y'all to really enjoy y'all relationship. You got to enjoy your relationship. You got to have fun with each other. And you got to remember, when you're in a relationship, if that person is not your enemy, they're not. I'm going to give you guys 5 quotes that I feel like is positive and help a relationship. Relationship gets stronger when both of you are willing to understand mistakes, forgive each other. A perfect relationship is not perfect. It's just that both people never gave up. Remember that. If that person is willing to fight for, don't give up. Don't give up. It takes baby steps. It takes baby steps to build and to grow that relationship. So just remember, if they are worth fighting for, don't give up. A healthy relationship would never require you to sacrifice your family, your friends, and your dreams. When you're in a relationship with a person, do not allow a person to come between your family, your friends, and your dreams. You have to, you have dreams. You have your own friends, you have your family. And I know it might be hard to some people out there that's not close to their family, and you're in a relationship with somebody is close to their family. I know you might get a little jealous or whatever, because you're not used to that. But you can't keep that person away, because that's not fair. You have to learn how to accept, and loosen up. It's okay. You never know. Their family going to give you just as much love. If you're not getting that love from your family. But don't push, someone's family away or friends away, especially your dreams. Don't do that. Without communication, there is no relationship without respect. There is no love without trust. There are no reason to continue. If you don't have those things in your relationship, it's time for you to let that relationship go. I don't care how long you've been with each other. It's time for, y'all got to come to agreement, settle things. You got to let that relationship go. A real relationship has fights, trust, faith, tears, pains, arguments, patience, secrets, jealousy, and love. And to the ones out there that was in a broken relationship and you're no longer with that person anymore, I'm going to read, I think I got 5. I'm going to read 5 things, and hopefully this will help you guys. Let them go. Heal from your loss. Reintroduce the new you to who you still feel called love. Love from a place of service. Love from a place of no expectation. Healing from all those loss, and love from a place of self-trust, clarity, boundaries, and the true self-identity. So guys, I hope the things that I talked about today will help you guys out there to try to build up a positive relationship. We all go through different things when we're in a relationship with each other. And my main thing is if you're in a relationship with someone, and if that person is not willing to try to grow, you're wasting your time. You need to get out of that relationship. Because relationship, you have to grow. You have to move forward. Especially if you're married, you really have to, work on your issues, solve your issues, in order for you to grow and to have that healthy, happy relationship. Because you got to look at the fact that if your parents or anyone around you that's been married for like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, whatever, trust me, they had to work out those issues. Nobody relationship is perfect. And another thing too, stop telling people the negative things that goes on in your relationship. Because remember, the more negative things that you tell people in your relationship, you think that they're going to give you good advice about your relationship? No. Because you're already telling them negative things about your relationship, so they're already in their mind looking at your partner in a negative way. Stop. A lot of people do that. A lot of people, every time they go to their friends or family members, they always want to bring up the negative things that's in your relationship. Stop doing that. When you speak about your relationship in a positive way. Your negative things that go on in your relationship, that should be private. That should be private. Nobody should know any negative things about your relationship. And you wonder why people know your business. My biggest thing is that nobody doesn't know any negative things about me and my husband's relationship. When I speak on my husband, it's going to be positive things in our relationship. So remember that. Stop speaking on negative things in your relationship to people. Stop. Speak on positive things in your relationship to people. Now, you might have that one close friend or your parents, that you want to speak on something negative in your relationship that you're dealing with. That's fine. But remember, that person that you're speaking on, speaking to, remember, don't speak to a lot of people on your negative things that goes on in your relationship, because when the shit gets around, you already know who went back and told, because you know that you only told that one or two people. So remember that. So stop speaking on negative things in your relationship when you're around your group of friends. Stop doing that. Always speak on positive. Nobody should know what goes on in your relationship. Nobody. Especially if you and your partner has issues. Nobody. It's between you and your partner that has to deal with those issues. And also too, what other thing I want to say? That's really about it. To the ones out there that are celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you guys out there. And also I have to do a shout out to my sissy and my brother-in-law WT. Happy 15-year anniversary to you guys. You guys shout out and wish them a happy anniversary. They are celebrating 15 years. And it's beautiful. I have watched them grow together. I have watched them cry together, and it's beautiful to see them in love with each other again. It's beautiful, it's beautiful, and also too, for the ones out there that feels like, your back is against the wall, you want to give up on life, please don't give up on life. Also, next Thursday, I will talk about suicide, since it is this month. Suicide is this month. I'm going to talk about the effect that people go through when a loved one commits suicide. I'm going to express to y'all guys and talk to y'all guys about the experience that I, went through and felt when my homeboy committed suicide. And also, if you feel like, you want to give up your life, please call National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The number is 1-800-273-8255. And also, too, for the ones out there that have lost someone this week, may God give you strength. Whatever you do, just don't stay there at that low point. Try to change your sadness into happiness. Keep their memories alive. Post pictures. Talk about them. Show videos. Keep your loved ones alive. You're going to have your days. It could be, good days, bad days, but you're going to have your days. It takes time. It takes time. That just don't go away. When you lose a loved one, that just don't go away. Also, too, my biggest thing, please, please, please give someone a hug out there, because everyone needs a hug out there. And thank you guys for tuning in today. I know I went over, but it's okay. It's my podcast. But I appreciate you guys, and I hope the little tips that I gave you guys will help you guys out there, to bring you in that positive relationship, because everybody deserves a good relationship and be happy in a relationship. Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves love, and I know some of you guys out there that might be single, and it's taking you a minute to find that love. Trust me, sometimes God wants you to get more into yourself, before he brings that right person in your life. So you can really, really look at things in a different, positive way, because you have to find what is your weakness when it comes to a relationship. We all have some type of weakness when it comes to a relationship. So you have to find those weaknesses in your relationship. And sometimes God is, teaching you different things about yourself. So when he do bring that person, in your life, you'll know, and that's about it. But thank you guys. Peace. Y'all know I have to do my dance. Bye, guys. And also too, have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And also too, I will be celebrating my aunt 60th birthday party this Saturday. It's going to be nice. And so I hope all you guys out there have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend. And don't forget to hit that share button. Don't forget to hit that share button. And also too, I am going to put my site up. I do have a YouTube channel. It's Hello My Beautiful Peeps podcast. It's my picture, because I did two. So the one with the picture, that's the one you click on. I will put that under this live today. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Bye, guys. Peace.